What famous person did you regret meeting because they were an ass? Wayne Brady screamed at my sister for taking his picture in Vegas. She was not taking his picture. He walked into the shot. He freaked out screaming that he wanted her to show him that she was deleting it. She was trying to explain she did not even know he was there and showed him the picture that only had a sliver of him in it when she looked through the shots. He continued to berate her about not respecting his privacy in the middle of the strip. She was in tears apologizing for doing nothing wrong, and he never acknowledged he was in the wrong and continued to badmouth her as he stormed away. Cannot watch him anymore. Mark Wahlberg did an appearance at his brother's restaurant. He refused to take pictures with anyone taller than him. I know this one had come as a surprise, but Steven Seagal used to frequent a restaurant I worked at. Dude was a colossal piece of shit. He just treated his very wonderful family like shit, and it was obvious he was cheating on his wonderful wife with the Asian nanny. This fucking moron would come into a 10-table restaurant, all 6 or 5 or and 300 pounds of him, wearing a gold kimono in the south, and would wonder why people were looking at him, so he made us take the entry partition down and put it around his table. He was an absolute trash human being. Also met Peyton Manning one time right after the Super Bowl he lost to the Saints. Who dat? This was at a ultra high-end golf course and we were not allowed to act like we recognized celebrities, which was more awkward than anything. Anyways, he walked up and ordered a beer and introduced himself, but I was already turning to get the beer as he stuck his hand out to shake my hand and tell me who he was, as if I did not know Peyton Manning was in the grounds when I saw his forehead pull into the parking lot. So I blow off Peyton Manning for a handshake. How many of you losers can say that? Great fucking guy though. I have not meet a rude celeb yet, but Stan Lee's security at Calgary Comic Con a few years back was fucking brutal. The guy acted like he was a fucking mercenary. Stanley would sit in a chair and you would come stand next to him for your photo op, and Stan let me be pretty well arm to arm close, and his security guard yelled at me and asked Stan if he authorized me to be that close. Even the photographer looked at the security guy like he was crazy lol. But at the same Comic Con, meeting Norman Reedus, Stephen Yeun and Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger, was amazing. They're all super awesome and tried to have a legitimate conversation with you. Steve Yeun even complimented my glasses lol 10/10ths best con for me. Did know it happened to me, but I had a physics teacher in high school who sat next to Bill Nye on a plane once. Apparently he was super unpleasant to be around. I have only met Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future at Universal Studios. It was the end of the day and the park was closing. We were right near the exit, and he was just walking through the park to get to one of the sets. I ran up to him. I was 14 at the time. I asked if he was going back to the future. It was also the last ride we were just on, and hell has obviously heard that line a million times, but he was so nice about it. Got a photo, he said. Have a great night and thank you. Never been more happy. Late to this but Pauly Shore. It was mid-90s in New York City and wife and I were at a very popular Asian restaurant with a huge wait. He walks in with an entourage and tries to worm his way ahead of everyone else. He tried to play the "Ala Donna, do you know who I am?" a card. Hostess was having none of it. Said Donna no. Donna not care. Yeah, I'll wait. They left in a huff. The porn stars were completely uninterested in anyone when very mechanically signing autographs at a local business convention. I cannot say they were rude as much as barely even there. Best was Rob Zombie. Meet him at a book signing for the Lords of Salem at the local Barnes & Noble, and he was awesome. Super chill and friendly. I have moderate Asperger's and really freeze up in large crowds, so I was really nervous, but he was literally as sweet as could be and went out of his way to get a picture with me and fist bump me. Fun fact, the crew were telling the line the entire time he will only sign the book and nothing else, and Donna'd bother him, but he said screw that, and was signing everything people brought for no charge, except the $20 for the book. He was friendly with young kids to old people, did not matter. Met Tiger Woods when I was 15. He slapped my hat out of my hand. A different golfer whom I didn't know ran up, picked up my hat, and asked if his signature would be okay. I agreed, but I don't know who he was or what his name was, but my grandpa was pleased upon seeing it. Jimmy Fallon. I liked his show, and one day, while I was getting a tour at NBC Studios, he bumped into me and turned around, said sorry, and then flipped me off, and it was not like I got in his way. Walked into me from behind.